If you're in your 20s, then this is the time to do it. It's the time to go out, explore, and have fun. It's also the time to build habits that will help set you up for success later in life. Your 30s are when you start to reap the rewards of the work you put in during your 20s. But don't be fooled, because if you didn't take advantage of your 20s, it doesn't mean you can't make changes in your 30s. But it does mean you have to work harder. When you get to your 40s and 50s and you look back, you'll wish you did more. So, let's talk about the major money milestones you need to accomplish in your 30s, so you don't regret it later. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. No one. We have $1,000 emergency fund. If you haven't already built an emergency fund by the time you're in your 30s, you should be doing that right now. An emergency fund is a safety buffer between you and disaster. You should always have money set aside for emergencies, which can include medical bills, car repairs, or anything else unexpected that comes your way. According to a recent survey by Bankrate, only 39% of Americans have an emergency fund, with 43% saying they couldn't afford to pay for an unexpected $1,000 expense. In another study, NerdWallet found that 64% of millennials had less than 3 months of expenses covered in their emergency savings. If you're in this situation, you need to prioritize building your emergency fund so that you're not caught off guard if something goes wrong. A good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved up in case something happens. When you have an emergency fund, you'll be able to sleep better at night knowing that you'll all be okay even if something bad happens. You'll be also less likely to take on debt if something goes wrong because you will all have money to cover the costs. And you may even be able to take advantage of opportunities that come your way without worrying about how you will pay for them. So if you haven't already done so, make it a priority to build an emergency fund in your 30s. You won't regret it later. No. 2. Max out your retirement contributions. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the better. Even if you can only contribute a little bit each month, it'll add up over time. Plus, many companies offer a retirement match program, which is essentially free money. So make sure you take advantage of that as well. According to Fidelity, the average 401k contribution for workers age 55 to 64 is 13.5% of their salary. That means that on average, people in this age group are contributing about $27,000 per year to their retirement accounts. Now, I know that might seem like a lot, but if you start early, it doesn't have to be. Let's say you're 30 years old and you want to retire with $1 million. If you max out your contributions to a Roth IRA every year and get an average annual return of 8%, you will have over $1 million by the time you raise 65. So it's never too early to start saving for retirement. And by starting early, you can save less money and still reach your goal. Number 3, pay off your student loans. Student loan debt is a burden that affects millions of Americans. In fact, according to the Education Data Initiative, 43.2 million Americans have student loan debt, and on average, each person owes $36,361. That's a lot of money. And it's money that could be used to buy a house, start a business, or have children. Student loans can be a real drag on your finances, but it is possible to get rid of them. There are a few things you can do to speed up the process. First, make more than the minimum payments. Even just a little extra each month can add up quickly. Second, look into income-driven repayment plans. These plans base your monthly payment on your income and can significantly reduce your monthly payment. Third, consider refinancing your student loans. If you have good credit, you may be able to get a lower interest rate, which will save you money over the life of the loan and allow you to pay it off faster. Finally, look into loan forgiveness programs. There are a number of different programs that can forgive your student loans under certain circumstances. For example, if you work in public service, you may be eligible for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. If you're a teacher, you may be eligible for the Teacher Loan Forgiveness Program. If you work in a high-need field such as healthcare or education, you may be eligible for loan forgiveness through the National Health Service Corps or the Teach Grant Program. There are a lot of options out there, so don't be afraid to do some research and see what you may be eligible for. Getting rid of your student loans is a big accomplishment, and it's one that can really change your life. It'll give you financial freedom and peace of mind, and it'll also open up new opportunities for you. Right? With the average student loan debt being $36,361, that's a lot of financial freedom we're talking about. So if you're carrying student loan debt, make a plan to get rid of it as soon as possible. Number 4, save up for a down payment on a house. Buying a house is a huge milestone in anyone's life. It's a major financial commitment, and it's typically the largest purchase you'll ever make. However, buying a house can be a great investment, and it can also provide you with a sense of stability and community. One of the biggest hurdles to homeownership is coming up with the down payment. Typically, you'll need to put down at least 20% of the home's purchase price in order to get a mortgage. So if you're buying a $300,000 home, you'll need to have $60,000 for a down payment. Of course, you don't necessarily need to have the entire down payment saved up in cash. There are a number of different programs that offer down payment assistance to qualified buyers, and you may also be able to borrow money from friends or family. But whatever you do, don't skip the down payment. It may seem like a good idea to save money up front by going with a no down payment mortgage, but you also ultimately pay more for the home over the life of the loan, and you will also be upside down in the home for longer. Plus, having a down payment shows lenders that you're serious about buying the home, and it can help you secure a better mortgage rate. So start saving for that down payment as soon as possible. It'll be one of the best financial decisions you ever make. Number 5, diversify your investments. We all know that investing is important, but a lot of people don't know how to get started. The good news is that it's not as complicated as it seems. Once you get the ball rolling, it'll basically take care of itself. First, you need to decide what to invest in. There are a lot of different options out there, such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It's important to diversify your investments so that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket. This means that you should invest in a mix of different asset classes so that if one investment does poorly, it won't affect your other investments as much. Next, you need to decide how much to invest. A good rule of thumb is to invest at least 10% of your income. But obviously, the more you can invest, the better. Finally, you need to decide how to invest your money. You can do this on your own by buying individual stocks and bonds, or you can get help from a financial advisor. If you go this route, make sure you find someone you trust and who has your best interests in heart. Investing is one of the best ways to grow your wealth over time. By following these tips, you can get started on the right foot and set yourself up for success. Just remember to be patient and don't try to get rich quick. Thanks for watching this video. You made it to the end. We appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Okay, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. It would help us out a lot. And as always, feel free to comment your opinion below. We love reading what you have to say. See you next time.